Gonna get into it. So again, it's your boy Resume. We about to get into the 0-day call, 0-day expiration class. So primarily the focus of tonight's class will be to really hone in and identify potential setups, that could potentially go in our direction tomorrow for Friday, February the 10th, contract expirations. And primarily the class, while we're looking for these setups, this class is really focused around the education and really honing in and learning the process that we take to identify these setups and execute on them. And so we feel that this process is pretty consistent, and we've seen the results in terms of not only our own trades, but those of the members in the pack, as well as those that have been a part of the group and have kind of moved on and created their own groups. And so we have extreme confidence in this process that we use. We see it reverberate across the Strat community. So we take pride in that. And so that's what we focus on here in this class. And yeah, so that's primarily it. We don't have a bias in terms of, being bullish or bearish. And so we just look for the opportunities and play those accordingly. And so I will say and point this out for those that are, not familiar with the 0-day contracts or what that even is or what it means. These are essentially contracts that expire tomorrow, February the 10th. And so what that means and what we're focusing on tonight is looking for potential trades that we can enter tomorrow morning, with the intent on exiting tomorrow. And so we're trying to maximize or take advantage of the volatility that can occur from these contracts. And so that volatility can work for you or against you. And so these are what's seen as risky trades. And so that's why we like to identify a process by which we're going to approach these if we do decide to trade in a 0-day fashion. And so this class is really focused around that. And so with that, I would just say there's no obligation for anyone to take any trades that we identify or go over in tonight's class. This is really about understanding and learning the process. There's folks that have been here, since the pack is open, 2 years ago, and, still just enjoy learning about the process. There's always an evolution and a growth. And so, just wanted to highlight that and point that out. And so with that, let's get into it. One of the main things I try to focus on, if you've been a part of my Strat one-on-one classes, you know that particularly in the watch list development class, I really focus on developing, or not even developing, I really focus on identifying trades in two different areas or criteria, or I don't know, two tracks for me. And so the first of which is like reversal trades, and those you'll see primarily on my longer swing alerts. But also within that, you'll see I have others that are more continuation focused. And that's really what we boil down and focus on here in the 0-day class, is identifying continuation plays. Because my rationale for that is I want to identify opportunities on trades that are going in a direction already. So I don't want to have to concern myself with questioning if the trade is going to go in one direction or the other. I want things that are giving me signals or a trend that is something that's been going in one direction for a period of time. And essentially for me, I am just looking for a TTO or a potential buying opportunity to get into a trade that's already moving in said direction. So that's kind of like the thought process, and that's how I break down trades. I look at them in the aspect of reversals or continuations. And so for 0 days, I am looking for continuation plays and those that are going in one direction. And I'm just really trying to take advantage of that and get on the moving train, essentially. So that's kind of the rationale and the thought process. I really like to identify entries on the 4-hour time frame. I really like this time frame to identify those potential trades and setups. And so I start there, and and based on my methodology, I look through things through a lens. I look at things through a lens. So again, I'm looking for things that are in a trend already and really trying to take a TTO essentially on this 4 hours. So what I'm looking for here is not for everything that's has this setup that we're going to describe with the inside 4 hour, but I'm really looking for those inside 4 hour setups on tickers or trades that are, going in force or that have continuation. So that's like the methodology behind that. Obviously, there may be times where you may not get that occurrence or you may not get that luxury. And so we prepare ourselves for any situation, but that is the ideal scenario. I really don't like to take trades that like we're actually taking a reversal on a 0 day. There may be consolidation or things that hold up the trade at an entry point, especially on those reversal trades. So I really like to eliminate the doubt or if, when it comes to like direction of a trade. So that's the general idea. I do say that with the caveat tonight because we know how the market reacted in the second half of the day. Based on our thesis in terms of the levels of the market, we had, levels of 50% of the year as well as the 50% of last week, which SPY closed below both today. So I think from that perspective, I still see things as potentially bearish going into tomorrow. However, we'll play things in accordance, but I will say that just because it's bearish doesn't mean that everything's going to go down. So there will be opportunities. What me and Boss Gang like to call a stock pickers type of day is what I foresee tomorrow. I do see overall bearishness on, the market as a whole. However, I do see things that are still showing relative strength in comparison to how the rest of the market did. Actually, I see one on my screen right here, CVS. That was totally unintentional, but CVS here on my screen, in comparison to what the rest of the market did that second half of the day, CVS is showing some relative strength. What I would see today is that we're probably not going to get a lot of things in continuity as it sits tonight. So what we'd probably be looking for are opportunities for trades to go back into continuity for tomorrow. But I will say I've noticed that there are a lot of tickers on the second half of the day that just have a very strong bearish inside candle. So that will throw off a lot of the potential setups for tomorrow. So we'll just play what's in front of us. We're not going to try to get too tricky, but we can jump right into it here. So a couple housekeeping notes. First of which we are looking for trades for tomorrow. So I'm not really intent on looking at long setups for next month or next week or any of that. I try to restrict the commentary to the 0 day opportunities because I want to just be respectful of the time of people that's here for that. So just wanted to point that out. And then secondly, please, if you want me to look at something for tomorrow, I'll emphasize tomorrow, please drop the ticker in the chat. And we'll be sure to get to it. So with that, we'll jump right in. I'm going to also throw up a 4 hour scan just to kind of see what's on, what did close with the inside 4 hour candle today. And we'll go from there. And then I'll jump into the chat and start looking at some tickers. Looks like we had only 79 tickers that closed inside on the 4 hour. I would imagine there's a lot that actually did go down. But we're looking for actionable signals here. So we can take a look at some of these tickers here. We may go up to the day and identify some setups on the daily time frame as well. But I feel as though we'll have some. Hold on one second. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. kids, man. So yeah, go ahead. I ain't even say nothing. I ain't even say nothing, you know. Had to delegate that one. But you already know, Goose. But yeah, we're gonna take a look and see what we got here. Since CVS is on my screen, I'm gonna take a look at it and see what we got here. Looks like we did have some strength in CVS, and it looks like it pushed up on the 4 hour after retracement in the afternoon, the second afternoon candle, but still create a higher low. It still looks to be pretty strong, and buyers were not scared out of this one, looks like. Closed out that volume gap off the gap up today, came to that weekly broadening formation with the retracement, but it really wasn't too significant. Closed with that inside hammer candle. This one does look primed to go 212 to the upside tomorrow. The one thing I would caution is, you know, like I always talk about, is the broadening formation being above its head here. So I would just take a look and see from entry, which is 90.24, to this broadening formation, what does that pay you? What does the contracts look like? I always kind of just try to be mindful of those broadening formation levels, just so I don't want to, you know, run into a brick wall, you know. So I want to anticipate any kind of reversal, and then if it continues to push through, great. That's extra chicken, but we'll see what happens in the morning. I'm going to set an alert on it just to keep my eye on that one for tomorrow. We got 212 on the 4 hour. And this is an upside. Well, I'm going to imagine we're going to have a good many of downside ones as well tonight. But this is one to the upside. 90, let's go with. Okay, so that's CVS. Let's take a look. Got MGM, Zim, CCJ. Let's take a look at MGM, then we'll go to CCJ. MGM does not have an inside flow. What the hell? So yeah, CCJ with the inside 4. I think somebody threw that in the chat also. So let's see. So we got CCJ looking like potentially we could get some downside action going into tomorrow. You know, it's really hard for me to say, in the sense of when things gap up like that, it's hard for me to see them going back to fill the gap back down. But it could trigger 212 down, maybe go retest the lows from today, which is, I think, more likely. Than like maybe going to fill the gap. But the setup looks clean. The broadening formation rejection, pull down 212 looks likely to the downside. So definitely be alert and aware for that one. Let's see what the people at the party look like. But yeah, 212 to the downside. I want to take it to the low from yesterday, and then see what we get, what kind of price action we get here. We may get a little bit of some orders here, but if we push below this level where today's low is at, then you're going to go and close out that gap at 27.49. And that's what you really want to happen. You want to get that dollar move. It's kind of what I see on that one. But yeah, just run the math on it. Analyze the contracts off the 212 break to the low of the day, and then run another analyze on that level that fills the gap at 27.49. Yeah, it looks textbook. Energy is so finicky, man. That's why, it's kind of off a gap up before it go right back down. I don't know. So we'll see. Or it could gap down and then shoot right back up. energy is kind of funky like that. So CCJ, because it was the strongest today, is really like, I don't know. Well, not the strongest, but right there. So XOM, this was one definitely similar to CCJ. The difference is CCJ took off like crazy. So my thought process would be there's buying in that one versus this one didn't do much today. So it took off in the morning, but then pulled back afternoon. So I can see a 212 back to the downside below that 114.30 to take you back to the point of control at 112.98. And that looks feasible on XOM. So you get the 2 down. It'll go right back to this level. It's like just consolidating in this range. So yeah, so looks like consolidation. There. So XOM puts 212. You got an entry below 114.30, and you got the shooter day at 114.18 to the downside. Point of control on the day is 112.96. So you got 2 setups, 2 entry points. I'm gonna throw an alert on there myself. The only reason I throw an alert on this one versus CCJ is because like CCJ just showed so much buying this morning. You know, there could be the possibility there's still buyers present versus this one just it didn't have the same type of reaction. It went up in the morning like they all did, but CCJ looks a little stronger. To be honest, they all might just drop. But we'll see. We'll see. Then the daily rev strat on the day back to the downside off that shooter. I like that daily setup actually better than the 4-hour one. This looks good. Okay. Energy looks decent for a short. Let's see what else we got here. Jump over here real quick. Yeah, take a look at AbbVie and then BP. So it looks like healthcare. It looks like healthcare showing a little bit of relative strength. So you got another one here, AbbVie that didn't really, it had to pull down off of the break this morning, but the afternoon candle and everything else snatched back. It really held up in terms of its strength level. And that's really good to see, and that's really an indicator that buyers like this one at this level. The volume was 220% is average volume, so buyers like it at this level, or liked it at the 145 level. So that's one you could consider. Could maybe go back up tomorrow, 212. Even though the candle is red, it was a bearish inside candle. That's one that could potentially go back up tomorrow. Let's see, but it looks like a couple of these healthcare stocks are showing a little bit of relative strength. And that's the whole thing. Like, if you can identify what's got relative strength, bearish days don't mean nothing. If you and it's honestly for me, it's easier to recognize stocks that are bullish when the market is overall bearish. That's kind of like my my whole thesis around it. I see that a lot. Now BP, again, similar to CCJ, when they're super bullish like that, and they gap up and they shoot up like that, I just feel like these red candles is just profit taking. And I'm not quite certain to short something like that. I'd be more inclined to let it do what it do, even if I feel like it's gonna go down tomorrow. I don't like when there's stuff that's just had extreme buying, and then like I don't want to time it. And also, additional to that, this one here has been super bullish. It's been the highest performer in the sector, so I definitely am not looking to short it right here. So I think for me overall, I'll probably leave that one alone, even though the setup looks bearish. I would go with the other ones versus this one or CCJ in terms of like downside setups. Even though the setup's bearish, it still could probably go up tomorrow. You got that look up pre-market, that thing back above 50% of the 4-hour candle from yesterday. Like, damn. I like the short week stuff. We talked about PM. We're going to take a look at Prime Minister and then Dollar General. Prime Minister is Philip Morris, PM. So Philip Morris, Staples. This one here looks like continuity is starting to turn over. Looks like it's giving us an entry for tomorrow. Looks like it's just consolidating in this daily range. It hasn't, just every time it drops, it gets bought up, but it's not enough strength to keep it up. It's just consolidating. So I got Prime Minister overall, looks like bearish to me. However, let's see. This one here. Oh, this one here held up pretty good compared to, yeah, this one held up. I don't know if I ready to go super bearish on it for tomorrow, but overall it's bearish, but I don't know about for tomorrow. I don't know if it looks weak enough for me. But the setup's there. You just have a little bit of work to do. I think, what's that level? 101.91 would be your level for entry to the downside on the 4-hour, and then below 101.39 on the day will be your entry. So you're not far away. So it's definitely doable in terms of triggering those levels. If I'm gonna short it, I just want to see something a little bit weaker. This one's trying to fight to hold those levels. If we're gonna short something, let's short something super weak. There ain't no doubt about it. You know, that's my thought. You know, it ain't even about if it's gonna go down or not. But I like the security of weakness. Dollar General. Then we're gonna get into the chat. See what you guys are looking at. Yeah. So yeah, this one here. Dollar General. But we got a gap fill to the downside. That looks better. Yeah. I like that. That looks a little bit. Okay. We got the bounce off of the major BF. We came to the volume shelf, got rejected. Coming right back down to retest this broadening formation. Yeah, I like this. 212 to the downside below 228.80. Check people at the party. It may or may not be contracts, but the setup looks fire. and it's weak. That's what I like. Look at that daily counter. Look at that. That's barbecue chicken. 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 2 back into this broad information. Seems like there's orders when it gets there or dips below. So looks like to me, we trending down. We just get these little pops in between. So I'm looking for this daily look. Man, this look like barbecue chicken right here, boy. Let's probably be bearish tomorrow. Shit. It's over with. 220. This is a solid one to the downside, people. 228.76. It's clean. That's clean. Out here. So cool. Another downside setup. Looks solid for tomorrow. Looks weak. PM had earnings. Interesting. Yeah, it didn't show. It wasn't showing enough weakness for me. I was like, It makes sense. Looks like John Deere's stuck in his range right here. But to me, based on my thesis of things, we got the bearish 3 from last week. We inside currently. Looks like we just ranging all week. So maybe tomorrow we get we'll get a 2 down tomorrow to go test the bottom of that range. So we get 312 to the downside. Entry below 407.83. We try to take it to like 404.65 or maybe below that just a tad. I think that looks solid. And then you got a 122 on the day. You got like a super Luca. You got a 2-1-1-3-1-2. Downside. Big drop, consolidation, next leg down. 1-2-2 to the downside on the day as well. This looks like barbecue chicken. Looks like we're turning over, people, as we all predicted. That should enable our energy stocks to ramp up. And then I've got enough people in buying leaps and longs and all that. 412. Okay, and then I'm gonna set the day trigger and then we'll move to the next one. 407.13. Okay. I do think potentially tomorrow, though, I do feel it's going to go to the downside, 1-2-2, and then probably go test the bottom of this range and where it's been ranging at all week. So that's why I was looking at 404.65 as a level. It seems like that's where buying comes in at. So I'd be looking for that for tomorrow. However, when it gets to that level, I feel like there's going to be buying that comes in, and then ultimately maybe in the afternoon it goes up, but I do see this thing probably going 3-1-2 next week to the upside off of this outside bar from last week. That's kind of what my thinking is on it, but at least for tomorrow, though, it does look bearish. So it just looks like it'll just go back to the other side of this range. And when it gets there, to start to push back up. And that'll turn us into like probably 3-1-2 breakout next week to the upside. But at least for this one, and it could be, like wherever we end at tomorrow on Deer will be a big determinant. But I see this situation here coming. So we'll see. Yeah. So anyway, let's keep moving. We looked at CCJ. Let's take a look at M-Phase. Ooh, M-Phase, what you doing? Y'all know how I feel about these outside bars. The month don't look trash. Sheesh. Mm-hmm. I don't know, boy. This one look like here is probably gonna. It's like a buy low, sell high. I mean, this one probably coming off this BF here tomorrow. The idea would be 322 back to the upside off of that BF. The question is, how far up are we gonna go off of this? How strong is this? How strong is the buying in this level right here? So maybe I take like 50% of this candle here. What level is that? I just want to see what it is. That's the range on today's candle. So what do we got? 212.24. So maybe we get to 212.24 and get a potential rejection. But if we blow through that 212.24, then probably cooking with grease. Okay. So yeah, 312 to the upside. I just had a question of where it would go in terms of upside move. I have a question on how bullish is it? Will it just make its way back to the point of control on the day, which is 229.99? Which that's some good chicken. But you would have to catch this early entry here at 209 to catch that move. But if you do take that, watch the 212.24 level, because that's going to be a big determining level in terms of where you're going to go. But that would be my first target, probably. But yeah, look at that. M-Phase contracts usually are not great. I think this thing is bearish overall, though. So I think this move up is just to be a little short little TTO back to the upside before it makes the move back down. It's just reacting off of that broad information. So the question is, how strong is this reaction going to be? Based on what I'm seeing, it's still got some downside to go. So if you can double dash that thing, you straight. But just giving you a heads up. But the setup looks serious though. All right, Ray, let's see what we got here. Yep. So inside week energy 212 4 hour. Again, 212 to the downside, entry below 53.79. What we got? Broad information like 53.25. Yeah, if I was to take this to the downside, I'd be looking for 53.43 first, and then if I got below that, then 53 like 25. Um, I wouldn't be super bearish on it, but it looks like a little bit of meat on that bone back to that broadening formation. But my thinking is if it goes to retest that broadening formation, it'll probably show some buying from there. So be mindful of that. I'm just curious to see how we open up tomorrow.
Hey, real quick, Resume. Look at the 2-day on and SLB.
Hold on, I don't even have a 2-day on mine. What's the setup on it?
It's a mean shooter. It's a 1-2-2 coming off that BF.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That was my thought process.
Yeah, it's gonna go down. I see it going to that BF at like 53.25. And if you were to analyze that, I bet it's probably a nice little chunk.
Yeah, I didn't get to analyze yet, but I'm gonna definitely check it out.
Yeah. Put 53.25 on your price slice, and then maybe go as low as like $53. Last week's low was 51.97. So you may want to throw that in there as well as another level, like an ultimate downside level. Looks like we're already below the 50. So on the week at least. So yeah, I just be looking for where bounce levels, where I think the blind is gonna come in. But it's definitely bearish. So I agree. At least for tomorrow anyway. Let's see.
Yeah, that's some nice chicken right there.
Oh, you looking at it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it would be. Yeah. Oh, see, okay. Staples. So we got MO. So them cigarettes is looking strong. Maybe it's supply and demand because there ain't no more menthols in some states. So it's a supply and demand thing. But yeah, they showing a little bit of strength too, relative to what the rest of the market's doing today. We had the outside candle today on the day. I like that. That sets us up potentially tomorrow for a bullish inside day, or even maybe a 2-up if we're really bullish. Looks like the 4-hour we closed. Did we close above the 50 or below on this 4-hour candle? Yeah, we closed below it. So we need to get above it to even trigger. So yeah, so just be mindful of those levels, but you'll know what it's going to do before it gets to trigger. So that's the good thing. But I think this thing's bullish. I think it's gonna, at the very least, I see a bullish inside day. Point of control will be that level where you'll see like a battle between buyers and sellers, but I think it's bullish. Yeah, I like that. I like the outside day setup. The problem is there ain't no trigger off that outside day, so you have to look lower time frame, like a 4-hour or lower. But the setup is, yeah. And we talked about CVS. Yeah, that CVS looks strong. That's relative strength, people, right there. Everything else pulling down, and then that one looking up. Look at the rest of it. Look at J&J, and I don't know what PFE. Look at PFE. Look at what is it? MNA. Yeah, the MDT. Yeah, so you can see this bad boy is doing its own thing, and you can very quickly identify relative strength that way. I'll be interested. Look at that WBA shooting. So that's kind of how I look at things, and I can quickly identify relative strength. So you've got those that like are doing like the rest of the market. What does SPY do? Yeah, so majority of the market probably going to look like that. And if it's looking bullish when the rest of the market is doing this, you can kind of quickly say, okay, I can see strength in this one without getting into like the details of the order levels and that type of thing. So it's a quick way for you to cheat and see what's there. Let me see. All right, Anna, let's take a look at Roku. Roku, yeah, that's continuation down tomorrow. Don't think you're gonna get any micro triggers, but looks like the week trigger, which actually is a good one. Maybe you can buy some 17s on this, but the week trigger is below 53.72. So you got about $1 and some change to take that Roku back to the downside. And you're already below point of control and below the 50 on the week. Yeah, I mean, you're giving all signals for continued downside action. And to boot, you fell two up on the month. So everything's looking in your favor to continue to the downside for Roku. But the week trigger is the level that you got to look at on a major because there's no micros. So the other recommendation would be to look for an intraday entry. So you just need to, once you get open and you get confirmation, price is going in the direction you expect. I'll be looking for actionable signals on those smaller time frames to get into that trade because this is a continuation. And, it's in force already. So there's no entries. It's not giving any entries right now. So intraday would be what you want to do unless it just quickly takes out this week level. And if it takes out this week level, then you're looking at $47, $48 as a level for Roku.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Resume.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no problem. Man, that was a good find. CLX Ray. Oh yeah. Damn. Okay. Yeah. Get a little gap fill. We're gonna push and test these lows. Yeah, so you got Chicago downside on CLX. This is Clorox bleach. So you got the shooter below 150.02. I like the level. And it gapped up about, what's this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 a week ago, and it's been kind of trending down. That's more like what I would like to see after something gapping up. It's showing me that it's creating new lower, each day getting lower lows. So it's giving me what I want to see in terms of the buying is leaving after that gap up versus like the day it gaps up and then taking clicks the next day, kind of want to caution myself on that because you'll have a fight between buyers and sellers that next day. So once that's decided who wins, then I pounce. 150.02.
Yeah, I was also looking at the I know you probably don't look at all these time frames, but the 3 days inside shoot on the 3 day, and we got a new 3 day tomorrow. So,
okay.
So it's gonna be a 3-1-2.
Talk to me. Okay.
Same trigger.
Let me go. I gotta put this alert back in. Oh, no wonder. Okay. All right, we'll keep it rolling. CLX. Yeah. Keep going. Let's keep it moving. CLX looks like, yeah. Let's take a look at the blacks, Alex. See how the black folks behaving today. Going 3-2 to the downside. We cross below the BF on the 4, but we look still above it on the day. So we actually are still above it. Broad information reversal. That's what I see coming. They be trying to sneak stuff in, man. They may try to sneak this one back up tomorrow. This one intrigues me. 2-2 day. Yeah. I see it's at the bottom. I see it's at the bottom of a range, maybe potentially reversing up back through this volume gap.
Okay. Hey, Resume, this is Alex.
Yeah, what's up, Alex?
Hey, so with AA, I brought this up because I've been watching it since last week, and it's been weird because it's been moving the same way that SPY been moving. And that's why I had put it in there to say maybe an alert to the downside, because if you look at SPY and then you go back and look at AA, you'll see like it's been following it like almost to the T.
Right.
So I was thinking of it going long, you know what I mean, because it's materials, but for a short-term move, you know, for like a 0 day.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm tracking. What I'm looking at here is if you look at my top left, you see this broadening formation? Seems like every time we get to this level, you get a little bounce. So that's why I had went down to like the 5-minute, because I had an issue with on one time frame it's below, and then on this time frame it's above the broadening formation, which is significant. So that's why I went to the 5-minute or the 15, because I wanted to see where it actually is on the smaller time frames. Then when I go down here, it told me a story that we made our way to that BF. Look at that kiss. Beautiful. Kiss off the BF. You know, by rule, I expect there to be some type of move up. The question is, how significant of a move is it going to be? I do see this 50-53 level as being a potential. What's that, like a 1% move potentially? But as far as, let's go back to the 4 hour, that 50-53 level isn't going to do, let's see. 50-53 triggers your alert. That only gives you 23 cents in terms of the move to the upside. 51-57 is your point of control. I would, if I'm looking downside, I gotta set this. I gotta find an actionable signal. That would be like the first. So I would need to go to a smaller time frame intraday and identify, because you're technically already down on these time frames. So so that's the thing. You got to find an actionable signal. If it does continue bearish tomorrow, which, you know, that's what all the time frames are telling you, you just got to find an actionable signal after we open tomorrow.
Okay, so, cool.
Yeah, so what you might do, what you might see actually, is price go up tomorrow immediately, like it hit this level around this 50-53, 50-49, and then come back down. And then what you should be looking for is a potential entry on one of these smaller time frames, because that could happen pretty quick. And then you'll probably go right back to this broadening formation. And so you need to judge strength and weakness from there. But, you know, I'd be targeting broadening formations if I was you, back to the downside.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it.
Yep. So yeah, look for a little bounce up and then smack it when it gets rejected. All right. Nikki, you got BA. What are we talking about here on BA? Let me go back to the 4 hour. Oh, that's about the best looking one I've seen all day. Yeah, look at that. What BA was doing. They said they don't care what SPY doing, huh? They said they did not care. Okay. Right on. That's a good one. That's a good one. We got the Chicago. We got two setups actually. We got Chicago and we got a Rev Strat. We've been under this broad formation level, and it looks like we just keep getting rejected off of it. But let me draw a BF. Let's see. Yeah. So we got a little meat on the bone. We could take advantage of on this. Yeah, let's take a look at BA. Got Chicago looking to the upside. You got 212.45. It is showing relative strength today. Let's see what the rest of the sector did. But you can see they all they're a little bit weaker. LMT held up, NOC held up. But EA had a very, very good afternoon. So we'll see. It's really been more so consolidating than in a trend in either direction. So that's probably like the downside or the cautious piece that we got to look at is that it hasn't been showing a clear direction. But we may have an opportunity for a short-term move to the upside tomorrow. Looking at that entry above 212.45. Maybe we go back and retest the highs from today at 215.45. But I'd be looking for this thing to push up and maybe push up above the high of today. And then that would give us the trigger for the Rev Strat on the day, 2-2 Rev, and that level for entry would be above 215.45. So I'm gonna put in the 4-hour trigger. I don't think I'm gonna throw the daily one on, but I'll throw this 4-hour on here. 212.
You don't sound as hostile towards VA tonight.
Say that again.
You don't sound as hostile as you usually do towards VA tonight.
Nah, yeah. I'm gonna keep it objective. Yeah.
Y'all must been going to counseling recently.
Yeah, nah, I'm turning over a new leaf with Bowen. They gotta behave themselves, but yeah. Trying to keep it cool with them, as soon as they mess up though, I'm gonna be on them.
You cordial right now.
Yeah, right.
Can you check out MRK?
Yeah, I'll check it out. Let me check out XL up real quick. Financials. You got, can you dig it? The financials stay going down. These weak as hell. Shooter week. So if you wanted to go long next week, that looks primed and ready. That's textbook strat. Right off the Broadening formation, hit them highs at 37, missed some change, came on back down. That looked like easy money right there. Everything looked like it's like ready to turn over. So yeah, you don't have an entry point on a smaller time frame, so you need to find like an intraday entry. But the week definitely setting up for like a reverse back to the downside. Let's take a look at red. This one looks bullish. I'm I don't know, Nikki. This thing is so bullish, I wouldn't want to short it. Even though it's giving me, you know, bear signals on a 4 hour and day. Look at that. That thing just been every day.
So on the 2-day, it did a 1-2. And on the 3-day, it did it did a 2, but it's more so a hammer. That's why I was like, let me have a second pair of eyes look at this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think just to the naked eye, yeah, you got the setup setting up. So if it does turn over, you're in a perfect spot. But I'm like, damn, this thing went up how many weeks in a row?
6.
Yeah, I'm like, whew, that's, you know. However, if you want to break it down to nitty gritty, if you were to take that entry point, I think that 723 level is probably on that volume shelf at 723 is probably where you want to target. What's your entry on the day? Daily entry is 730. 4 hour entry is 733. So that would be my what I'll be looking for.
All right, 10-4, thank you.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Ooh, that thing look bullish. Jesus Christ. Walmart. Okay, Walmart. Got some comments on that one. Let me take a look. Miller, Walmart. I didn't even look at this one at all today. Yeah, so Walmart went down and then found some orders here. It's giving like that shooter counter hammer. Oh shit, shooter hammer counter on the week. I don't know what they want to do. I mean, as far as like planning for 0 day, I think of it more like a slower mover. So unless I have a setup that's clean for it and I can see the move potentially, I haven't been able to really pinpoint good opportunities for the 0 days on Walmart. Maybe a couple times we have, but just generally speaking, I haven't seen those opportunities. So I look at Walmart like other staple stocks, not so much like a fast mover or something that's going to give you a lot of volatility. So typically with Walmart, we'll play that one long and buy time on it. You know, there's certain stocks that, yeah, you can 0 day the hell out of it, but Walmart just hasn't given us those opportunities. So that's more so the reason than anything else. I don't think it's bad, and it looks relatively bullish, but you're right, there's no entries. So you just need to look for an intraday entry on a smaller time frame if you wanted to play it tomorrow. But I mean, I think the main thing with Walmart is don't buy out of the money. I mean, or if you're gonna don't buy far out of the money. You got to stay close to Walmart. It's not one that you can just buy 5% out the money and get it, collect the volatility on the way up. That's not one of those tickers that does that. You got to play close to the money and then let the delta accumulate. That's how you make money on Walmart. So most people try to play it like it's a tech or discretionary. And then, they're confused why it doesn't move like it's supposed to, or they think it's supposed to. So just a word of insight on Walmart. So we got Halle Burton. She's looking weak right now. Came back to the broad information. Let's see. I think this is a level where to get bought up, though, personally.
Hey, Resume, when you get a chance, can you check out Disney?
Yeah. Oh, I was supposed to get MRK too. Yeah, so Halle, again, bottom of a broad formation. I will, if I want to play it to the downside, I'd be looking to catch, to see what the bounce is going to be like, and then catch the rejection off the bounce if there is one. I'm not sure if it's like, I guess my preference would be not to play something to the downside with the Broadner formation sitting there. And we can see, just similar to the other one I had pointed out, where it looks like the buying came in at that level. So I'd be curious to see how it opens up tomorrow. But if you do want to track it, I would be expecting that move to continue up, maybe to these levels, maybe to this Broadner formation, then look for a rejection, or look for a rejection once it gets to this 38.07 and then 38, maybe 49 where the point of control is, which is close to just below the higher day from today. So you could identify those levels as potentials, but I don't know if it's giving me the straight up bearish look. It's trying to hide. It. So Hadley looks like it may give you the upside move versus the downside. So if you're going upside, 37.80 entry point. Looks like it's under the BF here, but it's actually above it. So that's another point. Okay, let me check out MRK, then I'm gonna check out Disney. All right, MRK setting up to go to the downside. Bless you. So we got MRK, shooter vibes. We got 212 to the downside below 106.65. What else we got here? I don't have all the BFs drawn on it, but I suspect there's potentially a BF that I don't see here. So we got that entry to the downside below 106.65. But what I like more than that is that we got this shooter day. And we're looking at an entry below 106.54. So that looks really, really good to me. And, it could be signaling a reversal. I think overall, I am bearish on the sector as we just looked at the majority of the other tickers there. So this could be a situation where it's going to fall in line with that. However, it has shown strength throughout this week. So it's one to keep your eye on. But, I guess my whole rule of thumb is like I try to find the weakest thing possible to short. So evaluate it, take a look and survey it and take a look at what's the best potential to make the move you expect. But this one's bearish. Continuity's on your side. You probably won't be able to take the week red, though. The week will remain green unless you have a big move down tomorrow, because you got to get below 103.43 to take the week back red. But looks like everything else, you'll be in continuity to the downside. So I think you got something with that for sure. You get these bounces out the Broadner formations, and then they're weak, and short their ass right back down. Sorry, what was that?
No, I said thank you. Yeah, I played it to the upside, but like I said, I see the shooter now because I think it took, when it took out the week, I took that reverse off the week, but then after today, I'm thinking like it's not gonna be strong enough, so it's gonna go bearish.
Yeah, take a look. If you got your cut level set, then just monitor it. Don't make a rush decision because we do have an outside month, and the month is currently inside hammer. So maybe you take a put for tomorrow, but keep your long position in, type of thing. So just evaluate the levels, because I think if it stays above your cut level, then you're obligated to stay in the trade, even if it makes a little bit of a small downside move tomorrow. Just in terms of sticking to your rules. Like I say, this one doesn't look as weak as some of the other ones, so that's why I point that out. Like it does give us the shooter on the day, but some of those other ones, man, they just like they're dead.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so be mindful of this one. That's why I say the week it showed a lot of strength. So we'll see. The afternoon candle didn't just give you a big body 2 down candle. So just monitor that in the morning. But yeah, I think you do got an opportunity for the short term puts.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know how it goes, man. Sometimes, you know, you might get, you don't have how many days in a row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 good days, you get a little TTO day, and it goes back up tomorrow kind of thing. So, or Monday. So yeah, that's why I say just evaluate, if it stays above your cut levels, then yeah, stay in it. But if it looks weak and it's going against you like that, then do what you gotta do. But you can always play it both ways too.
I got you.
Let me go to Disney, then I'm gonna go to John Deere. Okay, Disney. Disney look weak as heck. We don't have no actionable signals though. But yeah, this barbecue chicken. That outside candle is crazy. We did come back to this major BF level. So I'll be interested to see how price reacted to that. But it looks like it follows SPY. So that's going to be our big thing for tomorrow. Yeah. Right there. This looks like barbecue chicken. You're going to get continuation. The question would be finding an actionable signal on the smaller time frame. But yes, and this one looked like barbecue chicken. Even if you get like a little 5-15 minute pop to the upside, this thing's dead. All right. Look at that week. And then next week looked like, yeah. That looks good. John Deere, didn't we take a look at John Deere already? You still in those John Deere puts? Oh my God. Yeah, it's a wrap. Right now, you got big chicken going on over there. Man, what's your expiration, Ronell? You in the June? Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. You finna eat. That's how you hold on. That's how you hold on to a play. That's support changer right there. Okay. All right. Can you dig it? Let me yeah, I was just looking at financials because you didn't specify, so I was just like, I just went to financials. I don't see any in particular, but I see some folks that threw some in the chat, so I'm gonna take a look at those in a moment. Looks like Meta I have on my screen is going to continue down tomorrow. There's no entries or actionable signals, I should say. So you just need to find an intraday entry to get into that. But it looks bearish. Be mindful of the broad information levels. So you might get like smaller short-term pops up, but it's going down tomorrow. No doubt in my mind. Unless SPY miraculously goes crazy bullish tomorrow. And then next one in Wilburn. Oh man, the snow. Look at that. Snow looks continuities in its favor to the upside. Created a shooter day. Still was green, but it was shooter day. Inside 4 hour, looking for this thing to turn back to the downside. It got entry below 161.75. What else? They just look strong. I mean, it's just like buyers are there. So if you're looking to short it, I'd just be, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it looks like there's strength in it. So I don't know if I want to play it to the downside. Looks like buyers are present. They just like it at that price level, looks like to me. And you're probably right. The earnings probably is giving it a little bit of sympathy love also. Let's take a look at BAC, Chris. Yeah, BAC setting up for a flip on the week next week. Rev strat looks like the month is starting to go fail 2 up on the month, 2 down on the day, 2 down on the 4 hour. After a very strong run to the upside, it kissed that broadening formation, looks like.
Back outside, boys, bro.
Yeah, man. They got to turn over now. So yeah, they look like they're going back down. Yeah, it looks like it was a nice hell of a run though. But yeah, it looks like this one's turning over, and then Citigroup, similar deal. Same thing. Yeah. Both of these are bearish. You're gonna need to find intraday entries to take them. But they both look bearish. I feel pretty strongly they'll continue down tomorrow. I don't see nothing to hold them up. Unless you guys got BFs I don't have, which is possible. Yeah, both of those are shorts to me. Look like buyers got out of there quick. Yeah, super quick. All right, Paul, let's take a look at Zim. BM went to heaven. Yeah, this one right here looks bullish. So yeah, I think this is one you can definitely mark. Definitely there's strength in this one. Relative strength is in this one for sure. Take a look at the contract, see if there's people at the party. But yeah, this one looks strong. I mean, this is like a no doubt about it. I like those. Like I said, they don't care what SPY is doing. If they don't care what SPY is doing, that's what I like, especially on 0 days, because I need something that's going to just do what it needs to do no matter what. So I like that Zim. I don't have the BFs on there, so I need to take a deeper dive and take a look at those BFs, but setup looks clean. I'm gonna throw it on my alerts.
What sector is that in?
I want to say Zim is industrial.
Yeah, industrial.
Okay.
Hey, did you touch on snow already? I probably stepped away. I don't know if you touched on
Yeah,
snow.
we did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I was just saying with snow, it looks like there's strength still in it. And
To the
then
upside?
yeah.
Yeah.
Then somebody mentioned something about there was an earnings with Cloudflare and
Yeah.
it spiked after hours. So that all makes sense to me based on what I'm seeing on the charts.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Now, overall, it may still be bearish, but it looks like at least for tomorrow or in the short term. But you got all this stuff turning over. If SPY goes down, I don't see how snow can stay up. Yeah, that's how I look at it. But yeah, Zim looks fire. CME, Mike. Let's take a look at CME. CME group. Oh, excuse me. That we got the turnover on the 4 outside week. Oh man, big boy turnover. We got a rail strap potentially on the day tomorrow. It looks like a great opportunity to take back to the downside. You've got a potential entry below 182.70. So you're like 22 cents away from the trigger. take a look and see what's at the party. If there's people there, if there is, it looks like a great opportunity. Sheesh. It's like they ran it up and then sold out. Look like a pump and dump. CME. Like that. I like that. All right, let's take a look at Disney. Oh, we did take a look at Disney, my fault. Yeah, that one, yeah, that's downside. Oh, AZN earnings. Yeah. I still held on to my AZN puts. I took a little bit of profit, but I'm still in those. 3-2 down month. Yep. Yeah, like this last week, they showed a little strength. Oh, that makes sense though. That's why their ass was going up this week. I was like, what the hell? They ain't supposed to be going up this week. But that makes perfect sense. I wasn't even tracking the earnings, but I got long puts, so okay, that makes sense. What we got tomorrow? We're in the volume gap. Let's see. Yeah, with earnings in the morning, yeah, it's hard for me to even judge which way it's gonna go because it don't really matter what the damn reports say. Like I say, this thing bearish, and then it goes off, and it says bullish, and then it sells off. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be interested in that one too, Boss Gang, because I don't even have an answer for that one. We'll just see. We'll see what happens. But thank you for putting that on my radar because I was not even tracking that. I got time on my puts, so I'm still up, but they came back a good bit this week. Oh yeah, Ronell, them 100% on them DEs is chunky as hell. Let's see. CF Nikki. What is CF? They got a little weed plant on there. Oh, they look strong though. CF looks really strong going into tomorrow.
It's a material stock. It's hydrogen and nitrogen.
You said like materials, oxygen, nitrogen?
Yeah, like clean energy.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. You in your bag. I like that.
It's plastic. I ain't upgraded to the Gucci yet, but I'm working on it.
Hey, that's fire right there. That's kind of stuff. I know Bosca ain't probably cheesing over there. 212. Let's look at this entry above 85.79. You got chop range 87.26, and then you got 88.08. If you get past 88.08, you out of there. It's just consolidating right here. So rev on the week. Looks like we're gonna rev on the month potentially as well. Sheesh. Okay. That looks really good. No, they're not, Nick. Y'all killing me,
Thank
right?
you for your time tonight, Resume. I appreciate you.
y'all ain't right. All right, yeah, it looks like we covered like a good bit of things. I'm just gonna scan really quick, see if there's anything we overlooked or just didn't put on the screen tonight. Looks like we look good. Take a look at VLO. Yeah, so I am interested to see how we open up tomorrow. I think you all understand how we feel about SPY overall and the direction it's going based on our feedback we've been providing in terms of the market and the levels and, you know, the type of trades that we've been alerting. So you all should be pretty clear on that. So the big thing for me is tomorrow, just really understanding how we open up. And you know, we'll play it accordingly from there. But we've got setups going to both directions. So we'll be prepared for whatever happens tomorrow. And, you know, one of those I do want to point out that we should just take a look at and be mindful of for tomorrow, and that is VXX VIX. Or depending on the platform you may not get to see VXX. It might be VIX that you're looking at. So just keep those on watch as well. But we did have some strong movement out of those yesterday. And so another hedge is UVXY. So if we do get some strong bearish activity tomorrow, just keep those under watch as well. In addition to those that are showing relative strength, because like I mentioned, when we get bearish 0 days, I really get excited because it's very easy to identify those that have relative strength. So I think, you know, because of that, there may be a perception I'm like I have a bias, you know, like a bias towards the bullish side, but that's only because when you can identify relative strength, it's kind of easy to trade in a bearish environment. So that's what I'll be looking for tomorrow. But we got alerts to both sides. So I just wanted you guys to take a look at UVXY and VXX as far as hedges. Looks like the bonds are still weak. You know, so the idea would be to look at the dollar bill, UUP. Could be another one that continues up tomorrow, 322 or 122 back to the upside. So be mindful of those. Remember, the market's based on a trifecta. That is the bonds, that is the market in terms of commodities, and then the dollar, the value of the dollar bill. So right now, the market as well as the bonds are looking bearish and the dollar's looking bullish. And if you look at the macros on the dollar bill, it looks like we came to a yearly level broadening formation and potentially could be revving back to the upside on the dollar, which would be very bearish for the rest of the market. So with that, folks, I will let y'all have it. I'm going to drop in my alerts into the chat as well as my watch list, and I'll get the recording up on YouTube here within the hour. So it takes a little while for it to download to YouTube. So once that's there, it'll be up. And if you got any questions or follow us, just ping me, hit me on my DMs. With that, y'all have a great evening. Peace, family.
Hey,
go ahead. What's up, Sam?
Can you just read the chat out loud, Nikki's little message right there, please?
No, thank you.
Why not, man?
Nah. Y'all set me up. That's y'all, man. That's y'all. I'm gonna have to call in FICO and Cam to handle that.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
All right, Sid. Y'all have a good night, fam. Peace.